Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I am here to share with you my top 10 favorite palettes for this year's winter season. I gave you a holiday palettes video like this one, but once it hits January the vibe changes, right? And so for the remaining of the winter season, the vibes are frosty, cool tones, and lots of sparkle, because I always love lots of sparkle plus like frosty sparkles, you know. And so the 10 palettes I picked out more or less reflect those vibes for me, and I'm very excited to share them with you. If you guys are excited for today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to get any of these palettes, they are all listed in the description box below, so check out the links down there. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to be doing quite a bit of traveling throughout the remaining of the winter season. I'll explain all about it in a chatty, let's get glam type video later, but one of the main things I made sure I wanted to have picked out is some travel palettes to take with me when I go. And so I have three travel palettes here with me that I plan on taking on vacation, and they are natural looking. They have a bit of frost, a bit of sparkle, nice cool tones, and I feel like they're going to be perfect for this winter season. So the first palette I want to tell you about is this one from Natasha Denona, the Mini Starlit palette right here. I did a video where I created a couple of looks with this one, a bit of a more neutral one and then a cool toned one. My favorite shades in this palette are definitely the three beautiful pigmented mattes. This palette does not have a lot of depth to it, however I do find it very beautiful, very wearable, especially for like everyday type occasions, cute pictures at a European city type of occasion, wink wink. And so it is definitely coming with me, and the frost comes in effect with the shade Galaxia right here, which is a beautiful champagne rose frosty shade that beautifully complements the rest of the matte colors in this palette. So these are the vibes right here. I plan on wearing these shades a whole lot this season. If you guys want to see the look that I created with this palette, definitely check out the video I uploaded when the palette came out, and you can see my two looks that I created there. And so I'll probably be making some sort of version of those looks whenever I use this little Natasha Denona quint. These Natasha quints aren't just incredibly travel friendly, but also very beautiful and wearable, and the formula is great for every day. And so I'm not going to be taking just one with me, I'll be taking two. I decided I'm going to leave the big palette because I was going to take the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take these three small palettes here, and that is it. I'll have plenty. It's fine. Anyways, the next palette is also from Natasha Denona, and it is the My Mini Dream palette, which very conveniently came out and is the reason I no longer need to take the big I Need a Nude palette, because this Dream palette is like a mini version of I Need a Nude. It has incredible mattes and lots of depth with this beautiful matte neutral brown shade right here. With this brown color you can create the most beautiful dark, deep, rich, smoky eye, and so that is exactly what I plan to use it for. And then of course it has these beautiful shimmers, both of which are very shiny, especially the one I swatched on my pinky finger right here, and combines so well with the rest of the colors in this quint. Plus, if I'm on vacation and I want to experiment a little further, I can of course combine my palettes to create additional looks. Like I can combine this one with that one, or I could combine either one of these with the next one I'm going to show you. Before I show you the next one though, check out the review video for the Mini Dream palette I recently uploaded if you want to see the look that I created with that one. And then the third and last small palette I wanted to talk about that I'll surely be taking on vacation with me and using a whole lot during the rest of this winter season is this one right here from Lisa Eldridge. This is my only Lisa Eldridge palette and I love it. It's called Vega, and it has the perfect vibes that I was looking for with its beautiful cool toned color story the beautiful depth that these shades offer right here. And I simply love how creamy these matte colors are. This palette feels like luxury. It feels incredible. The shimmers are great as well. Let me go ahead and swatch them for you. I honestly can't wait to take it with me so I can use it a whole lot, because I need to get a lot more use out of this palette than I have in the past. The creamy mattes are incredible. They're like a cream to powder formula that blends like a dream. And as you can see, the shimmers are definitely going to do its thing as well. It's such a classy palette. Again, it feels like luxury. I do have a video with it as well here on my channel from when I first purchased it, and it's honestly a shame that trying as many palettes as I do, I have not been able to give this palette the love that it deserves, because it is a lovely palette. So I'm definitely happy I picked it out and that I'll be taking it with me on vacation, because I know I'll be using it a whole lot then. Moving on to some bigger palettes I definitely plan on using while I'm home. And the third one I wanted to talk about is this one here from Charlotte Tilbury. The Beautyverse palette from Charlotte is also great for the winter season because it has the most pretty frosty shimmer shades in it. They're nice and cool toned and pink and pewter and silver. Just fantastic frosty shades for the rest of this winter season. And then this palette also has the most incredible creamy matte colors. This is another one of those formulas, just like the Lisa Eldridge one. In fact, they're kind of similar to one another, that feels very luxurious and almost like a cream to powder type of formula. Take a look right here at the finish of the mattes. They're not mattes. They have what I'm calling a bit of like a leather finish, because again, they're like a cream to powder formula, so they can't be fully matte. They have a bit of luminosity to them, sort of like leather does, and they combine so beautifully with the shimmer shades that the palette has in it. I think this palette is so frosty and so festive and just perfection for the winter season. I also have a video on this one, of course. I think I probably have a video with every single one of the palettes I'll talk about today, where I did a couple of looks and I absolutely loved playing with this one. And so I wanted to pull it out and have it present kind of in my face during the remaining of this winter season, because I want to use it a lot more. Moving on to the fifth palette I plan to using a whole lot, the Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette right here. Again, cool tones and frosty shades is definitely the vibe. Check out the 5 Looks One palette that I created with this one for some inspiration, and see if these are looks that you like for the winter season. I love that I was able to get a variety of looks with this palette, and I love that they're all cool toned, and some of them have these beautiful frosty glitter shimmer shades added to them that I absolutely loved. Just take a look at how much shine are in these glittery beautiful shades. With this palette, you'll find a lot of content here on my channel, because besides the 5 Looks One palette video, I also did a video reviewing it where I created 2 additional looks, so definitely check it out. And then here are some extra finger swatches of all of these beautiful mauvey, purpley, cool toned matte shades that this palette has that go so well with these frosty glitters. I love the formulas in here. The pigmentation is amazing, and every single look I've been able to create with this palette I absolutely love. It's not just a winter palette either. I'm putting it in this video because I feel like it fits my vision, but you can honestly use any of these palettes year-round. The next palette I wanted to talk about is the Cosmos palette from Anastasia. This is one of my favorite palettes that came out in 2023. And again, it has beautiful cool tones and frosty shades as well that will complement this winter season a lot. I love shades like Supernova here. Super Cluster is the frostiest of all of the frosty shades. Take a look right there. This pewter color is incredible too. And then you can use shades like Space Dust, which is a nice neutral, combined with Eclipse right here, which is a beautiful purpley cool tone, and then Intensify with Dark Matter. And I feel like the combination of these mattes with these shimmers will give you fantastic, fantastic winter eyeshadow looks for sure. I love the way those colors look together. I do have a ton of content with this palette here on my channel as well. I created a 5 looks one palette with it that I love, as well as 2 additional looks when I first reviewed it. Not every single look is going to be my vision of winter, but if you use the shades that I just swatched for you, that is the vision right there. I feel like I can't talk about frosty shades and cool tones without bringing out my Natasha Denona Xenon palette. This one was my look for New Year's and I loved it. And of course it has all of the cool toned and frosty shades you will need in there. I do have a video reviewing this one where I created 2 looks, I believe. And then if you check out the video where I did my New Year's Eve look, you can get a 3rd look from that video as well. I love shades like Stellar and Supersonic in this one. Cygnus up here is incredible, and Skift is one of my favorite glimmery, shimmer, sparkly shades from Natasha. Take a look right there at how beautiful and shiny and how refined each of these shimmers is. I love it. And then they of course go very, very well with any of these incredible matte cool tones right here. So this palette I feel like embodies my vision of winter because it is all cool tones and frosty shimmer shades. Also, I feel like I'll keep mentioning it every chance I get because I feel like it's misunderstood. It got a lot of dislike, I feel like, when it first came out. Not a lot of people loved it, and I think it's a fabulous, fabulous, glamorous palette. Remember, if you're shopping Natasha Denona, I've mentioned a few Natasha Denona palettes already in this video, and I do have a discount code on her website. You can save 15% off Natasha Denona with my code PATTY15. So if you're interested in any of the Natasha Denona palettes, definitely use that code so you can save some money. 3 palettes to go, and this next one is from one of my favorite indie brands. It is this Fantasy Cosmetica Fighter palette right here. Now, I know this one has a very even combination of cool tones and warm tones, but for the winter time, I'm thinking we don't use the warm tones. We stick to just the cool tones and the neutrals. So shades like Glory are going to be perfect. Blade, of course, and Might right here. Shimmers like the, oh, I love these shimmers so much. You guys can get 10% off of this one with my code PATTY10. These shimmers are just so out of this world incredible. I'm obsessed with how good they look. Anyways, shimmers like these are going to be perfect for your winter looks. And then mattes like Cavalier and Warrior and Marshall right here are going to be the perfect combination for some fabulous cool toned frosty looks as well. The shimmers are so good, okay? I love them. I've done a couple of looks with this one on my channel too. I did a video reviewing it along with other products where I created an eyeshadow look, and then on my shorts, I believe I also have a look that I did with this one that I absolutely love. Please let me know in the comment section if it's helpful when I mention where I've used the palettes that I'm talking about. I think a few of you have told me that it's helpful in the comments, but I'm not sure if you then actually go out and look for the videos or not, so I don't want to be annoying. Let me know if it's actually helpful or not that I point out to videos where you can find eyeshadow looks with these favorite palettes of mine. Anyways, we have 2 palettes to go. I mention this next one every single winter season because it is just the perfect palette for winter time, and of course it is a Pat McGrath palette. This is Mothership #1 Subliminal. I wish Pat McGrath created more color stories like the color story of this palette. It is so different and so unique, especially when you compare it to the multitude of pink palettes she's given us since, right? It makes this palette that much special. Here's what the inside of this palette looks like, and of course you have the frostiest of frosty shades right here in these 2 special shades from Pat McGrath, and this blue right here complements them so freaking well. I am obsessed with the shine of these shades and how well this palette performs overall. Those shades can be perfectly combined with mattes like these. And even this shimmer right here looks so pretty, and it's going to be great for the winter season. Check it out right there. All of those colors are the right vibe to create the most incredible winter eyeshadow looks. And I do have a video with this one as well, where I created a 5 looks 1 palette. It's one of my favorite 5 looks 1 palettes I've done here on my channel, because I love every single look, and also because this palette just has so much potential. I'm obsessed with the formulas of it. I'm obsessed with the color story of it, the performance, the pigmentation, the blendability. Just a fantastic palette, a must-have palette in your collection. If this palette were to disappear from my collection, or I were to lose it somewhere, I would definitely go back and purchase it again. It is amazing. Last and certainly not least, the palette I'm wearing on my eyes today, which also gives you those frosty, cool-toned vibes, and that is this Jewels and Gem palette right here from Oden's Eye that I have been raving about ever since it came out during the summertime last year, I believe it was. And this palette does have a lot of variety of colors within it, so it's perfect for any time of year, I feel like you can claim, but it includes a lot of cool tones and a lot of frosty shades that are going to be perfect for winter. And so if you create looks with, let's say, just combining a couple of shades, those right there will make a fabulous wintry look. You can add a little depth with the color I'm wearing on my crease today, which is this fabulous cool tone purple color. I love this color here. This one is called Rhapsody, and it's the shade I'm wearing right in the center of my eyelid today, and I find it to be fabulous. It's like a multi-chrome shade. And then colors like these right here in the center are also going to be perfect for the season. So take a look right here at all of the cool tone frosty vibes that this palette can offer us. I love Oden's Eye in general, but every once in a while they definitely hit it out of the park with a new palette. And Jewels and Gem is my favorite palette that they released last year, possibly my favorite palette they've ever released. I love it because it is so versatile and it has such an amazing quality and such a fantastic color story. 10 out of 10, of course. You can get this one with a 10% discount using my code PATTY10. And I do have a video where I did 2 looks with it, I believe. I wish I had even more content with it here on my channel, but I recently reviewed some e.l.f. products, and this eyeshadow look is on that video, so also check that one out. If you are interested in any of my top 10 winter palettes, check out the links in the description box down below. And if you guys liked today's video and found it helpful, let me know down in the comment section or by giving this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.